I guess good morning, technically now. Just gonna hop on and continue the read through the Bible challenge for today while I'm up and have a little bit of energy, and then get cooking on other things after some sleep. So here goes. We'll be diving into Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Who is like the wise man, and who knows the interpretation of a matter? A man's wisdom illumines him, and causes his stern face to beam. I say, keep the command of the king, because of the oath before God. Do not be in a hurry to leave him. Do not join in an evil matter, for he will do whatever he pleases. Since the word of the king is authoritative, who will say to him, what are you doing? He who keeps a royal command experiences no trouble, for a wise heart knows the proper timing and procedure. For there is a proper time and procedure for every delight, though a man's trouble is heavy upon him. If no one knows what will happen, who can tell him when it will happen? No man has authority to restrain the wind with the wind, or authority over the day of death. And there is no discharge in the time of war, and evil will not deliver those who practice it. All this I have seen, and applied my mind to every deed that has been done under the sun, wherein a man has exercised authority over another man to his hurt. So then, I have seen the wicked buried, those who used to go in and out from the holy place, and they are soon forgotten, in the cities where they did thus. This too is futility, because the sentence against an evil deed is not executed quickly. Therefore the hearts of the sons of men among them are given fully to do evil. Although a sinner does evil 100 times and may lengthen his life, still I know that it will be well for those who fear God, who fear him openly. But it will not be well for the evil man, and he will not lengthen his days like a shadow, because he does not fear God. There is futility which is done on the earth, that is, there are righteous men to whom it happens according to the deeds of the wicked. On the other hand, there are evil men to whom it happens according to the deeds of the righteous. I say this, too, is futility. So I commended pleasure. For there is nothing good for a man under the sun except to eat and to drink and to be merry. For this will stand by him as his toils throughout his days of his life, which God has given him under the sun. When I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to seek the task which has been done on the earth, even though I should never sleep day or night, and I saw every work of God, I concluded that man cannot discover the work which has been done under the sun. Even though man should seek laboriously, he will not discover. And though the wise man should say, I know, he cannot discover. Ecclesiastes, chapter 9. For I have taken all this to my heart, and explain it that righteous men, wise men, and their deeds are in the hands of God. Man does not know whether it will be love or hatred. Anything awaits him. It is the same for all. There is one fate for the righteous and for the wicked, for the good, for the clean, for the unclean, for the man who offers a sacrifice and for the one who does not sacrifice. As the good man is, so is the sinner. As the swearer is, so is the one who is afraid to swear. This is an evil, in that all is done under the sun, that there is one fate for all men. Furthermore, the hearts of the sons of men are full of evil, and insanity is in their hearts throughout their lives. Afterwards they go to the dead. For whoever is joined with all the living, there is hope. Surely a live dog is better than a dead lion. For the living know they will die, but the dead do not know anything, nor have they any longer a reward, for their memory is forgotten. Indeed, their love, their hate, and their zeal have already perished, and they will no longer have a share in all that is done under the sun. Go then, eat your bread in happiness, and drink your wine with a cheerful heart, for God has already approved your works. Let your clothes be white all the time, and let not oil be lacking on your head. Enjoy life with a woman who you love all the days of your fleeting life, which he has given you under the sun, for this is your reward in life, and in your toil in which you have labored under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, for there is no activity or planning or knowledge or wisdom in Sheol where you are going. I again saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, and the battle is not to the warriors, and neither is bread to the wise, nor wealth to the discerning, nor favor to men of ability, for time and chance overtake them all. Moreover, man does not know his time. Like fish caught in a treacherous net and birds trapped in a snare, so the sons of men are ensnared at an evil time, when it suddenly falls on them. Also, this I came to see as wisdom under the sun, and it impressed me. There was a small city with a few men in it, and a great king came to it, surrounded it, and constructed large siege works against it. But there was found in it a poor wise man, and he delivered the city by his wisdom. Yet no one remembered the poor man. So I said, Wisdom is better than strength, but the wisdom of the poor man is despised, and his words are not heeded. The words of the wise, heard in quietness, are better than the shouting of the ruler among fools. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroys much good. Ecclesiastes, chapter 10. Dead flies make a perfumer's oil stink. So a little foolishness is weightier than wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart directs him toward the right, but the foolish man's heart directs him toward the left. Even when the fool walks along the road, his sense is lacking, and he demonstrates to everyone that he is a fool. If the ruler's temper rises against you, do not abandon your portion, your position, because composure allays great offenses. There is an evil I have seen under the sun, like an error which goes forth from the ruler. Folly is set in many exalted places, while rich men sit in humble places. I have seen slaves riding on horses, and princes walking like slaves on the land. He who digs a pit may fall into it, and a serpent may bite him who breaks through a wall. He who quarries stones may be hurt by them, and he who splits logs may be endangered by them. If the axe is dull, and he does not sharpen its edge, then he must exert more strength. Wisdom has the advantage of giving success. If the serpent bites before being charmed, there is no profit for the charmer. Words from the mouth of a wise man are gracious, while the lips of a fool consume him. The beginning of his talking is folly, and the end is wicked madness. Yet the fool multiplies words. No man knows what will happen, and who can tell him what will come after him? The toil of a fool so wearies him that he does not even know how to go to a city. Woe to you, O land, whose king is a lad, and whose princes feast in the morning. Blessed are you, O land, whose king is of nobility, and whose princes eat at an appropriate time, for strength and not for drunkenness. Through indolence the rafters sag, and through slackness the house leaks. Men prepare a meal for enjoyment, and wine makes life merry, and money is the answer to everything. Furthermore, in your bedchamber do not curse a king, and in your sleeping rooms do not curse a rich man, for a bird of the heavens may carry the sound, and the winged creature will make the matter known. I wonder what it means at the end of that chapter when it says money is the answer to everything. I know if we look at the whole of Scripture, that's not what's intended, but that's what that verse says. I'll have to think about that one more. Ecclesiastes, chapter 11. Cast your bread on the surface of the waters, for you will find it after many days. Divide your portion to 7, or even to 8, for you do not know what misfortune may occur on the earth. If the clouds are full, they pour out rain upon the earth, and whether a tree falls toward the south or toward the north, wherever the tree falls, there it lies. He who watches the wind will not sow, and he who looks at the clouds will not reap. Just as you do not know the path of the wind, and how bones are formed in the womb of the pregnant woman, so you do not know the activity of God, who makes all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and do not be idle in the evening, for you do not know whether morning or evening sowing will succeed, or whether both of them alike will be good. The light is pleasant, and it is good for the eyes to see the sun. Indeed, if a man should live many years, let him rejoice in them all. Let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. Everything that is to come will be futility. Rejoice, young man, during your childhood, and let your heart be pleasant during the days of your manhood. And follow the impulses of your heart and the desires of your eyes. Yet know that God will bring you to judgment for all these things. So remove grief and anger from your heart, and put away pain from your body, because childhood and the prime of life are fleeting. Ecclesiastes, chapter 12. Remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near, when you will say, I have no delight in them. Before the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are darkened, and clouds return after the rain. In the day that watchmen of the house tremble, and mighty men stoop, the grinding ones stand idle, because they are few. And those who look through windows grow dim, and the doors on the street are shut as the sound of the grinding mill is low. And one will arise at the sound of the bird, and all the daughters of song will sing swiftly and softly. Furthermore, men are afraid of a high place and of terrors on the road. And the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper drags himself along, and the caperberry is ineffective. For man goes to his eternal home, while mourners go about in the street. Remember him before the silver cord is broken and the golden bowl is crushed. The pitcher by the well is shattered, and the wheel at the cistern is crushed. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God, who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. All is vanity. In addition to being a wise man, the preacher also taught the people knowledge. And he pondered, searched out, and arranged many proverbs. The preacher sought to find delightful words and to write words of truth correctly. The words of wise men are like goads, and masters of those collections are like well-driven nails. They are given by one shepherd. But beyond this, my son, be warned. The writing of many books is endless, and excessive devotion to books is wearying to the body. The conclusion, when all has been heard, is, fear God, and keep his commandments, because this applies to every person. For God will bring every act to judgment, everything which is hidden, whether it is good or evil. Oh dear, here we go, into Song of Solomon. Committed to reading the whole Bible on Twitch. This one's probably not my favorite. But here goes. Song of Solomon, chapter 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. May he kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. Your oils have a pleasing fragrance, your name like purified oil. Therefore the maidens love you. Draw me after you, and let us run together. The king has brought me into his chambers. We will rejoice in you and be glad. We will extol your love more than wine. Rightly do they love you. I am black but lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem. Like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Do not stare at me because I am swarthy, for the sun has burned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me caretaker of the vineyards, but I have not taken care of my own vineyard. Tell me, O you whom my soul loves, where did you pasture your flock? Where do you make it lie down at noon? For why should I be like one who veils herself beside the flock of your companions? If you yourself do not know, most beautiful among women, go forth on the trail of the flock, and pasture your young goats by the tents of the shepherds. To me, my darling, you are like my mare among the chariots of Pharaoh. Your cheeks are lovely with ornaments, your neck with strings of beads. We will make for you ornaments of gold, with beads of silver. When the king was at his table, my perfume gave forth its fragrance. My beloved is to me a pouch of myrrh, which lies at night between my breasts. My beloved is to me a cluster of henna blossoms in the vineyard of En-gedi. How beautiful are you, my darling! How beautiful are you! Your eyes are like doves. How handsome are you, my beloved, and so pleasant! Indeed, your couch is luxuriant. The beams of our houses are cedars, our rafters, cypresses. Song of Solomon, chapter 2. I am the rose of Sharon, the lily of the valleys. Like a lily among the thorns, so is my darling among the maidens. Like an apple tree among the trees of the forest, so is my beloved among the young men. In his shade I took great delight and sat down, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. He has brought me to his banquet hall, and his banner over me is love. Sustain me with raisin cakes, refresh me with apples, because I am lovesick. Let his left hand be under my head, and his right hand embrace me. I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the hinds of the field, that you do not arouse or awaken my love until she pleases. Listen, my beloved. Behold, he is coming, climbing on the mountains, leaping on the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, he is standing behind our wall. He is looking through the windows. He is peering through the lattice. My beloved responded and said to me, Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, and come along. For behold, the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone. The flowers have already appeared in the land. The time has arrived for pruning the vines, and the voice of the turtle dove has been heard in our land. The fig tree has ripened its figs, and the vines in blossom have given forth their fragrance. Arise, my darling, my beautiful one, and come along. O my dove, in the cleft of the rock, in the secret place of the steep pathway, let me see your form, let me hear your voice. And your form is lovely, for your voice is sweet. Catch the foxes for us, the little foxes that are ruining the vineyards, while our vineyards are in blossom. My beloved is mine, and I am his. He pastures his flock among the lilies, until the cool of the day, when the shadows flee away. Turn, my beloved, and be like a gazelle, or a young stag on the mountains of Bether. Why, hello, Relouis? Relouis? Good job. Ooh, such an amazing story with the wording. Yeah, it is pretty good. It's a little bit difficult to pull from. You know, there's passages in the Bible that are full of discourse that's kind of really clear about what the application would be, and there's passages in the Bible that are narrative, and those ones are easier to digest as a story, but the poetry sections of the Bible are more tricky to apply. And this one particularly, because this is a love poem, and that's not something, I think there are applications for it, and there is definitely a beauty to it, but it's just not as intuitive for me, at least, to apply well. Are you a Christian? Yes, 100%. I believe that Jesus is the Son of God who came to take away the sins of the world, and in his life, death, and resurrection, we can have hope of relationship with him and his family into eternity. The wording makes it feel intense. Yep. Yeah, it is intense. I debated doing this one in kind of two different voices, one for the lady, one for the lover, and one for the beloved, but I think I'm probably going to stick with one just to not make it too intense. I'm struggling with my faith, but it's a work in progress. I hear you there. Thankfully, right? There's no way that we can out-sin God's grace. But at the same time, though it doesn't break the covenant that we have, I believe, with Jesus, can definitely put rift in the day-to-day relationship when we are not walking together, as it could in any relationship where we do something hurtful to the other. Thankfully, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Very thankful for God's grace. One of the things I like streaming, well, it's kind of silly, but Scripture talks about God's mercies being new every morning. There's part of me that likes to think of that every day at midnight. It's like, well, good morning. Thankful for God's mercies today. I feel like that chat box. Oh, my chat box isn't quite in the right spot. Let me move that. Let's see. There we go. That should work now. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing your messages on stream. Well, it still seems a little bit low. Up a little bit higher. Oh, that's the alert box. Oops. I've discovered the problem. Chat box. Boop. There we go. Do you see them perfectly fine? Oh, that's good. Yeah, I just thought the bottom of the box is getting cut off a little bit. No biggie. Feel free to keep piping in for comments and such. I'm going to dive into the next chapter and catch you on the other side. I do warn you, the imagery gets more detailed, but I would say compared to a lot of love poetry, it's still fairly mild. But just give them fair warning. Intense? Yeah, that's one word for it. I think it's a beautiful thing, but some people take it and make it lewd. I just lost stream feedback. Everything looks good there. Is the stream back for you? Oh man. My interwebs appears to be dying. Okay. I think we're back. Alright. Woohoo! Let me know if it freezes again and I'll try to adjust it. I can show you my streaming bitrate for some reason. It says it's unstable and is in the red. I don't know why. Hopefully it comes back clearly soon. Song of Solomon, chapter 3. On my bed, night after night, I sought him, whom my soul loves. I sought him, but did not find him. I must arise now and go about the city, in the streets and in the squares. I must seek him whom my soul loves. I sought him, but did not find him. The watchmen who make the rounds in the city found me, and I said, "Have you seen him whom my soul loves?" Scarcely had I left them when I found him whom my soul loves. I held on to him and would not let go, until I had brought him to my mother's house and into the room of her who conceived me. I adjure you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the hinds of the field, that you not arouse or awaken my love until she pleases. What is this coming up from the wilderness? From the wilderness like columns of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with all scented powders of the merchant. Behold, it is the traveling couch of Solomon, 60 mighty men around it, of the mighty men of Israel. All of them are wielders of the sword, expert in war. Each man has his sword at his side, guarding against the terrors of the night. King Solomon has made for himself a seat and chair from the timber of Lebanon. He made its posts of silver, its back of gold, and its seat of purple fabric, with its interior lovingly fitted out. By the daughters of Jerusalem, go forth, O daughters of Zion, and gaze on King Solomon with the crown, with which his mother has crowned him, on the day of his wedding, and on the day of his gladness of heart. I like that one. Cool. I'm happy you like it. It's good love poetry. What did you like about it? Felt passionate? Yes, very much so. Agree with you there. A good passion. And strong. Yes. Agreed. A bit seductive in a way? Oh. Yeah. It gets worse. Not worse, but more so in that regard. And I don't know if seductive would be a good word for it, because seductive usually implies a malicious intent. Let me check that and see if I'm correct there. Ooh, not deductive. Oh, it usually gives me a little definition at the top. Let's try that one. Tending to seduce, having alluring or tempting qualities. Disingenuous. Okay, what about seduce? To persuade to disobedience or disloyalty. To lead astray, usually by persuasion or false promises. To carry out the physical seduction. To entice to sexual intercourse. Yeah. Okay, so three of the four include a very negative intention. But I definitely get the vibe you're feeling. There's definitely an alluring and a drawing and a sexual component. All right, dive into chapter 4. Song of Solomon, chapter 4. How beautiful are you, my darling? How beautiful are you? Your eyes are like doves behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goats that have descended from Mount Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of newly shorn ewes, which have come up from their washing, all of which bear twins, and not one among them has lost her young. Your lips are like a scarlet thread, and your mouth is lovely. Your temples are like a slice of pomegranate behind your veil. Your neck is like the Tower of David, built with rows of stones, on which are hung 1,000 shields, all the round shields of the mighty men. Your 2 breasts are like 2 fawns, twins of a gazelle, which feed among the lilies, until the cool of the day. When the shadows flee away, I will go my way to the mountain of myrrh, and to the hill of frankincense. You are altogether beautiful, my darling, and there is no blemish in you. Come with me from Lebanon, my bride. May you come with me from Lebanon. Journey down from the summit of Amana, from the summit of Sinir and Himron, from the dens of lions, from the mountains of the leopards. You have made my heart beat faster, my sister, my bride. You have made my heart beat faster with a single glance of your eyes, with a single strand of your necklace. How beautiful is your love, my sister, my bride. How much better is your love than wine, and the frankincense of your oils. Than the kinds of spices. Your lips, my bride, drip honey. Honey and milk are under your tongue. And the fragrance of your garments is like fragrance of Lebanon. A garden locked is my sister, my bride, a rock garden locked, a spring sealed up. Your shoots are an orchard of pomegranates, with choice fruits, henna and nard plants, nard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all the trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, along with the finest spices. You are a garden spring, a well of fresh water, and streams flowing from Lebanon. Awake, O north wind, and come, wind of the south, make my garden breathe out fragrance. Let its spices be wafted abroad. May my beloved come into his garden and eat its choice fruits. And I kind of like that one. Can I just say you read these so amazingly? Thank you. I appreciate the support and the compliment. I've been doing this since Genesis. Man, when did I start? Can't remember. Back, I think just when the pandemic hit, I started getting into live streaming. So it's been definitely a work in progress and learning how to read aloud in a way that's cohesive and meaningful. But it's thankful to hear it's coming through and effective. One thing I think worth noting here is before he starts commenting a whole bunch on her physical attractiveness, we do have at the end of 3, I would make the proposition that they have entered the marriage covenant at this point, because we have the celebration and this mention of the wedding day. So I don't think that this is an illicit. I would make the argument this is not an illicit relationship. Hey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate the support. Let's see, we read chapter 4. Don't need to read that one twice. I agree. I can't wait to get married. Oh, I'm with you there. Very strong desire of mine, but the Lord hasn't led in that direction yet. Lord willing, someday. And until then, try to wait and pray patiently, which I'm not very good at. But try to day by day, trust and obey. I'm scared though. What has you scared? I'm more scared of the sexual part of it? Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. There can definitely be a number of challenges there. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Yeah. I know I don't want to get all personal, lol. Yeah, probably not the best place on Twitch. Totally get that. Totally get that. I'm working on, I don't have it set up yet, but I'm working on getting a Discord server set up. But hopefully there could be more discussion off of the public sphere. Do it. Woohoo! Appreciate the encouragement. That would be my aim, just haven't gotten there yet. Sadly, I don't have anywhere near enough followers or channel traffic to have this be my full-time job. So this is what I do just in free time as I have it, and trying to build up to something a little more. I think I'm going to print some of these poems, to be honest. Yeah, sure, go for it. If it's something that spurs you on towards love and good deeds, man, do it. Absolutely. There's a number of different translations. I prefer the New American Standard, but it actually, especially for poetry, doesn't read the most smoothly, but it's close to word for word. Like you see anywhere where there's an italicize, that's noting a place where they're saying an implied word, but everywhere else is coming word for the word from the Hebrew. Well, cool. Hey, thanks for the follow. Thanks for chatting. It's a bunch of fun to get to interact with people and not just feel like I'm reading to thin air. I'm looking to do longer streams in the future, but at the moment it's just about half hour a day or an hour every couple days. Keep chatting. Thank you. Appreciate it. Nice to know that people appreciate it. Do an hour. You want to hang out for longer, huh? Well, I like how you read them. Well, I should have a number of VODs up for other sections. I just finished all of Proverbs and Psalms. I don't know how many VODs are up actually. And then I also have more reading on YouTube. You can go all the way back to Genesis in that one. And I think I haven't been super good about actually putting the streams on YouTube as public. I was trying to have a rhythm of releasing them, and then just haven't gone back over to do that. I like how you read them, and chatting about this is also nice. I appreciate that. Well, I do kind of like the idea of getting all of Song of Solomon done in one run. 5 be 4 chapters. I think I'm gonna have to call it for tonight, but I'll aim to be back on tomorrow night, probably around the same time, and maybe see you then. But I know I've got some early morning commitments tomorrow. Yeah. Aw. I don't like it either. I see it as a reminder of our longing for eternity when I continually feel like things aren't as long as they could be. What's your Discord? I think I can whisper. Let me see. How do I do that? Whisper. Let's see. I have to remember the 4 numbers at the end. Why didn't it open a whisper? Whisper. Why? Oh, I see. It's down here. Hello. I think this is private chat. Please don't share passwords or personal information. But. How else do they share it? Let's see. Copy. There we go. Here you are. So My username is the same as it is on Twitch, Joshua Hero 8, and then there's the 4 numbers at the end. I just whispered them to you. And I have Discord up, so I should receive a friend request from you at some point. Don't need to do it right now if you're not online. Then I can accept and would be happy to chat with you. Add yours. Okay. I can do that. Add friend. Oops. That didn't work. Yeah, I probably could have just started there. Friend request is sent. Ta-da! Hey! Alright, made the connection. Good to connect with you. I'm probably going to head to bed for now, but happy to see you on stream or on Discord moving forward day to day. I pray you have an excellent day. Adios. God bless.